Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I'm coming to you from a little bit different place in my household. I decided to just jump on here and chat with you. If you are following my community posts, we've just had a few setbacks on the channel and I just couldn't make videos, or I was making videos and I was waiting for approval from brands, and yeah, there's not a lot that I can do about that. Unfortunately, I have a lot of videos lined up, but I'm just waiting. So I have been very patient, but I need to jump on and chat with you about a letter that I got. But this is a beverage chat, so we are going to pop one of these. This is a Ollie Pop Orange Squeeze, prebiotic botanical plant fiber. I am not sure. There's a lot in here, but I don't see anything terrible. I mean, there's rose hip, there's acerola cherry, which is amazing for you if you didn't know. There's calendula, there's pink salt, and there's orange extract and some cactus, marshmallow root. Okay, yeah, I'm excited. So I'm gonna try this quick. Let me know what you're sipping on down in the comments. If you're new here, hi, my name is Tori. I teach you to be prepared on a budget. I make videos 3 to 4 times a week, and I have recently been jumping into Instagram and posting my thoughts and opinions on there. And wow, yeah, it takes a lot out of you if you don't know about putting yourself out there on the internet. Let me try this quick. Smell is good. Oh, okay. It's sweet. I'm not a sweet gal. It's very sweet. What is it sweetened with? Oh, cassava root syrup. Yeah, and there's stevia. Okay, I'll allow it. Natural sugar, but yeah, well, cheers to you if you're new. I'm going to try my best to do this in one take, which is very rare for me. So if I stutter on my words and it's not edited out, I'm sorry, but we're going to try a new thing on the channel, and it's going to be authentically real me. So if you're new here, again, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I wanted to jump on here and talk to you about a letter that I got, and I will read it to you. It is from my energy provider, Excel Energy. In about 2 months, Excel Energy will exchange your current electric meter with a smart meter to improve reliability. My husband and I were joking that I just can't say that word for some reason. Efficiency and security. Your smart electric meter will enhance the service we deliver to you and provide you with access to detailed energy usage information and pricing plans that can maximize your savings. So yeah, that sounds really great to the average reader, right? With the advanced grid, you will have improved reliability, and faster outage restoration times if there is a power outage. New digital energy grid technologies enable power to be automatically rerouted to shorten or minimize service outages. You will get more of what you expect from Excel Energy: clean, reliable energy and new ways to save money as we work to deliver our vision of 100% carbon-free electricity by 2050. Wow. So that's a mouthful. I have a lot to say about the letter. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, of course. I want to hear from you if you're in the energy business in any sort of aspect of it. I have talked to a lot of you that talked to me about when I came on here and talked to you about the power lines being worked on and new systems being rolled out, and if I was truly paranoid or not. And, a lot of you agreed with me. A lot of you said that I wasn't paranoid and there's something going on. But to me, this letter, first of all, saying that it's their vision is not true at all. I feel like this can even be an entity that is controlled by the powers that be, the people that I'm not a huge fan of, the WEF, and a lot of the, what did we call it last time? What rhymes with smack lock? I think, yeah, we called it smack lock, whatever rhymes with that. Not a fan of the cronies that are in that group, but I feel like the energy is definitely controlled by the powers that be. And this letter to me screams energy usage and control. meaning if we use too much energy, they can shut it off. So I stumbled on my words. I definitely edited that part, but yeah, let's continue on. I tried my best. I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know your thoughts on controlled energy. I don't really like that they're like putting a date on it by 2050 that this is going to happen. I am nervous. I'm nervous for the future. I feel like energy use moves into a lot of realms in our life. You know me. You know I've been wanting to get off grid. I've been wanting to find a property that allows us to be off grid, but allows us to be on grid if we need. So I feel like a lot of us are like that. Right now I'm in a rural neighborhood. I have neighbors, but we have the ability to sustain ourselves for at least a while if the power does go out. And I know a lot of my neighbors do, but I am not one of those preppers that like to hide it. I will help whatever walk of life I can, as long as they're not threatening my family. I feel like some people would take advantage of that, but my husband and I are a pretty good judge of character, and I really feel like in the event of an emergency, we would be able to protect ourselves. So before you comment anything like that, don't worry. I have our back. My husband has our back, and we do live in a really nice neighborhood. So the power grid being shut off has been a hot button issue. A lot of people think that these power outages are going to be the big thing in 2024. It is an election year, so definitely prepare for some strangeness happening. I mean, there is a new sickness strain coming out. We have an open border and people of every country coming into our country every single day. They get insurance, they get money, they get clothes. A few years ago, I used to believe that we needed to keep the border open. I wanted people to be able to come here and seek refuge. But I implore you to think deeper. I had a lot of people coming at me saying I was terrible and I had an ugly heart, and why wouldn't you want to help these people? And I'm right there. They're pulling at your heartstrings. That's the way they want you to feel. I, of course, would love for someone to come to our country and seek refuge if they're in danger, but you have to do it in a legal way. We do not have enough resources to take care of the people that we already have, let alone the hundreds of thousands of people coming over the border and just seeking refuge in wherever they can. I've seen stories that governors and people of power want the ordinary citizen to open up their homes to some of these refugees, and it's alarming to me, honestly, and it hits close to home. We are not far from Denver, and I've seen some footage there. There are streets being shut down. There are children just on the streets, and that really does pull up my heartstrings. So I feel like if there's going to be a grid attack, wow, this is a great time to do it because we are definitely vulnerable. I was listening to Tucker Carlson the other day, and he was talking about having an invasion of our country, and the invasion is already here. It was planted, and it was planted to divide us, and it was a distraction so they could do other things. I don't know what it is they're trying to do, but I feel like all of these little distractions like sicknesses and grid downs and the border open and different wars in different countries really keeps your head spinning, and you can't keep up with everything that's going on. There are some of us just trying to live our lives, and I talk about this divide all the time because I personally experienced it. I lost friends, I lost family, and it's just tragic. I don't look at someone and see their politics. That is something I have come a long way from. I'm not here to change anyone's mind, but there is something that we do have in common. It's going to be the government, and it's going to be how the government is not a friend of ours. Of course, there are people in the government that seek the best truth, that really want to help the American people, but it's too hard because there's so many policies and hoops to jump around from the powers that be. So I'm not sitting here saying everyone in the government is awful, but I've learned on social media that people are just going to put you in a box and assume that's what you think. And I respect every single walk of life if you can sit here and have a level-headed conversation without any name calling. And that just leads me into kind of my hiatus, although it was only for like 2 days. But again, I started posting on the Mountain Mama Instagram. I've had it for about 5 years, and I was trying to grow it in order to grow this YouTube and just get to chatting with positive people, and silly me to think that was going to happen. Of course, there are a lot of kind-hearted, positive people that came from me posting. But I made a post the other day, and it was just, I was hoping it to be incredibly eye-opening, but majority of the hate that I'm getting in every single form, again, threats to myself, threats to my family, disgusting, violent, just disgraceful, unacceptable words, they're coming from the demographic of 30 to 70-year-old males. And I was blown away. Again, I said it on my post, it still boggles my mind. No man that I respect or know would ever act that way or conduct themselves in that way. It's just really, really frightening to me. And that's majority of the hate, which, you know, girl hate can be very scary. I had a hard time with that growing up. I still do. I don't really have a lot of girlfriends. But I was not expecting to get the amount of kickback that I get from males, and none of it is intelligent conversation. It's just, you know, calling me a blonde, saying that I don't know anything, saying that because I'm a stay-at-home mom, I should just mooch off my husband and take all his money, and just like really strange things. I mentioned homeschooling. Apparently my kids are going to be dumb, and it's just very general, like typical statements that you may hear around. And then whenever I post something political, although I don't want it to be political, my goal on the Instagram is to show people that the government's trying to poison us, and some budget-friendly ways, easy ways to get around that. That's really the goal of my Instagram, but oftentimes it gets political, and every single time they're just quoting mainstream headlines in the comments. So it's really hard for me to take it seriously. I absolutely am trying my best to ignore it. I know a lot of you are going to say that, and I know I talk about this subject a lot, but I am not saying it for sympathy. I'm trying to say it to bring light to what is going on in the world. This is a perfect example of what I talk about all the time on the channel, and that it's this divide. I am not here for you to agree with every single thing that I say. That's totally fine if you don't. I'd rather you didn't, because we would have a very strange society if we all agreed on the same thing. That goes into your personal lives as well. My husband and I, we don't agree on every single thing. My mom and I, my family members and close friends, we don't agree on everything. And I can sit here and have logical, calm, real conversations with people. And I find that oftentimes there is one side that gets very loud and just very aggressive and borderline mentally ill when they are chatting in the conversation. And of course, I'm never here to ruffle feathers. That is not my personality. I try my best to talk about topics in a positive, respectful manner, but a lot of these hot button issues are huge triggers for people, and they go off the rails. So yes, that was part of the hiatus. I can't really keep up with it, and oftentimes I can't keep up with the conversation. So I'm getting a lot of friendly conversation, but I am first and foremost a mom. That is my job for the day. Of course, I'm a wife, a homemaker, and you know, I'm just myself. I cannot spend so much time on that little social site. So yeah, I have talked about deleting it all, but this is my source of income, and luckily for me in 2024, being a stay-at-home mom is a little tricky when it comes to earning an income, but I have tried every single way to earn an income, and this is the best consistent way to do it. So chatting with all of you and just kind of taking those negative comments with a grain of salt has really helped, but I was a bit overwhelmed for a couple of days there, and then, you know, some things got out of my hands, and that really messes with business, that messes with me. I really enjoy kind of working for myself, working when I have time to, and still being able to be creative. And I have found that when working with certain companies, you don't have the ability to do that. And I feel like that is where I'm struggling. So if you see me representing brands, you know, please know that that's helping my family. I pick brands that I believe in. I pick products that I know are important to us most of the time. I'm still new to that just because my channel is growing. But yes, I wanted to get that off my chest quick. That's kind of where my hiatus was, but it was really affirming for me because it just shows that I'm right. This divide has caused such a scary, dangerous way of thinking, and it's just gotten me with a bad taste in my mouth. I'm raising kind, respectful humans. I'm trying my best to, and my kids are not going to be on social media. That's not our plan for them. Our plan is to not have them on technology. I feel like sometimes we are on technology and they see us in interacting with our phones, and that's even bad for me as a mom to see. But some of these kids, I was a teacher, I saw it. They're addicted to these social sites, and they see these degrading comments. They see every single thing on the internet. It's not like the 1990s. Again, my husband and I joked about our dial-up internet and what we were looking up on the internet, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't what the kids are looking up now or what they have access to. That's another thing. Oftentimes I get kickback about not wanting my kids on screens, saying that they'll be behind. That is laughable. They are not going to be behind. It's very easy to pick up one of these devices and quickly learn how to use it, especially when you have a curious child like I do. But yes, reading some of those comments is a bit scary to me because I know other people can see them, and then they think it's okay to talk to me like that. They think it's okay to talk to other women like that, or other people in general. Or on the flip side, you get another person that's empathetic like me, and that might bum out their day to see that. It's like a counteraction thing. Social media is a slippery slope, and I feel like I've tried my best to just kind of balance it with me as a mother. But if you see me take step backs like that, please know that I'm okay, and I didn't mean to alarm anybody in my community post, but that was what was going on, along with some other things, but we won't get into that on the channel. I just wanted to jump on here and tell you, about that letter that I got. I want your thoughts on a grid down. I want your thoughts on your first steps. I've been seeing some first 30 minutes after a grid down, or first 3 days, or what you should do. And I want to hear your steps, and I will share mine with you right now. My husband and I really started jumping into what would happen if the grid was down in the winter, because it gets very cold here in Colorado. It was -24 the other day. We have 2 heat lamps out there for the birds, but it was frigid. It was very cold. Amazingly enough, they were still laying eggs, but I was a bit nervous for them. And then, of course, we got into our family and what would happen if we lost power for an extended amount of time. And the first thing we thought of was not having enough water. I preach about it on the channel all the time, but we need to up our water game. So there are water filters out there that you can use. There are little tabs that you can use. I would suggest getting those 25-gallon totes at Walmart. They're like $17, or just another source of water. You can get bottles and bottles, jugs and jugs of water, whatever you want to do. I just think that everyone should stock up on water. If you have it in the budget, definitely look into getting a generator. I was repping Jackery for a little bit there. I still am. They have a great unit. It's very portable, but if you could get something larger, that would be a great idea, and you could get something with solar. I would definitely check into getting cans of food, something that you can cook quickly. Dried beans and rice are great to have, but it's going to take a lot of power, and it's going to take a lot of water to get it cooked through. So just quick meals right now, if you're worried about, prepping on a budget, or if you're new to this, just quick meals are a good idea. Definitely find a heat source, and definitely find some sort of light, like a solar lantern. We got that 4-pack from Amazon that I linked a while back, and then something with warmth. So those blankets are really great, and maybe some candles, like 3-day candles. Those are what I'm thinking of at the top of my head. A lot of people talk about something scary, and that is looting. So I'm going to say it again: get something to defend yourself and get some ammo. If you're not comfortable, maybe take a class or go to a range. Everyone is capable of defending themselves if they just have some confidence. And if you're coming from another country and your country doesn't have firearms, then okay, that's great. But I'm from the United States, and some people are a little mentally unstable right now, and it's very frightening. So I suggest everyone do it. I'm coming to you in a calm, cool way. If you are a responsible, level-headed person, you absolutely can have a firearm. Definitely look into safes if you have children, and just make sure you know how to use that in the event of an emergency. Some other things I would look into is emergency medication, antibiotics, things like that. Ways to start a fire. This isn't something that we're looking into long-term right now, but if you want to continue on your prepping journey, look for non-GMO heirloom seeds so you can grow your own food. If the grid is down, you're not going to have access to the internet or anything like that, so perhaps look into those medical books and how to use those herbs, or how to use whatever medication you're stocking. look into recipe books, find some maps. Maps are very important. You can get them for free at your local library. And my last one is get your mind right. Get your physical and mental self right. An exercise that I started was putting down my phone and allowing myself to be bored. I was inspired by my children to do the same. We don't do a lot of screen time, so it causes them to go do something with their time, build something, sculpt something, draw something, read something that you can do that allows you to be bored, because in the event of a grid down, you might be bored. And some of you out there might not be prepared for that. So I'm just stating that, as well as your physical self. Even if it's just some quick cardio or lifting weights or a walk around the block, make sure you're getting your physical self right. I am not the epitome of health, but I have been on a journey for a long time now to reverse a lot of what I have done to myself in my 20s, and I have come a very long way. So if you're interested in any of the products that I use or anything like that, they're all linked in the description box, or you could just ask me and I can type it out to you in the comments. I think I have talked your ear off long enough for tonight. I'm going to jump off. I just wanted to give you an update on what's been going on, how I've been feeling about this grid down scenario, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you're new, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.